The National Security Council on Friday said it was considering the appropriate action to be taken on the recent release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dinyadi, disclosed this to State House correspondents shortly after the NLC meeting chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Asu Rock Villa. Danyadi, who spoke alongside his counterpart in the Ministry of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, said Kanu was only discharged. He added that the federal government would explore other legal instruments to pursue the matter. However, he noted that the council did not discuss a possible political route that Malami had raised last November. The council, he said, only discussed the appeal court judgment, noting that solutions to such matters could be considered so far as they were not sub judice. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Thursday upheld the appeal of the detained court of the proscribed group and endorsed his release, but a statement signed by the AGF's spokesperson, Dr. Umar Gwandu, asserted that Kanu was only discharged and not acquitted. Consequently, the appropriate legal options before the authorities will be exploited and communicated accordingly to the public, the statement added. Briefing journalists on Friday, Dinyadi echoed the AGF stance, saying the federal government was considering other options. And you begin to ask us, because they gave a AGF or Malami that position. I don't think Malami is as brilliant as Osinbajo. So what is Osinbajo's role in that Aso Rock? I don't understand. He does not even advise them for anything. He does not even say anything. Huh. Well, the issue of Kanu has also been raised, and council was briefed on the state of things on the matter, and it was observed that Kanu was discharged but he was not acquitted. So the government is considering the appropriate action to be taken on the matter, and Nigerians will be notified of the position that will be final taken on the matter in due course, the minister stated. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, National Secretary Advisor Major General Babagana Mugono, retired, and the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, attended Friday's meeting. Also in attendance were the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yaya, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Vice Admiral Awa Gambo, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Isiaka Amau, and Inspector General of Police Usman Baba. The Minister of Defense, Major General Basha Magashi, retired Director General of the Department of State Service, Yusuf Bichi, Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ahmed Abubakar, and the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Samuel Adebayo, were equally present. Meanwhile, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, lawyer to the IPOB leader Kanu, has asked the AGF to comply with the order of the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal. He also advised Malami to consider voluntary resignation for allegedly exposing the federal government to international embarrassment and ridicule. He was responding to the statement by the Special Assistant Media and Public Relations to the AGF, Dr. Umar Gwandu, in reaction to the appeal court judgment which quashed the charges of terrorism preferred against him. According to him, the reference by the AGF to charge pending against Kanu before he left Nigeria in 2017 and the indication that the federal government may continue with the charge really showed his total disconnect with the law. With greatest respect to his office, Malami had said that the federal government was considering various legal options, including proceedings with the counts that were pending against Kanu before the invasion of his house by soldiers on September 14, 2017. Well, Malami had said that the federal government was considering various legal options, including proceeding with the counts that were pending against Kanu before invasion of his house by soldiers on September 14, 2017. But Ejiofor said the AGF should be appropriately guided in law. He said, I implore him to meticulously read the full judgment of the Court of Appeal, immediately comply with orders made therein, and possibly consider the most appropriate option of voluntarily resigning for exposing the federal government to its international embarrassment and ridicule. Now, for the avoidance of doubt, the federal government has no options. It has only one option, namely to appeal against the judgment of the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court, and the exercise of this latter option shall not constitute a bar to immediate compliance with the order of the Court of Appeal, which directed the immediate and unconditional release of Oyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The order made by the learned justices of the Court of Appeal is sacrosanct and must be obeyed immediately without further ado. Arguing that no further charges can be sustained against his client, his defense lawyer stated. On appeal, the Court of Appeal struck out the whole charge and held that the lower court had no jurisdiction to try Oyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That being so, that charge that has been pending against Nnamdi Kanu since 2015 and contains counts of alleged offences committed by him before he escaped being killed in Nigeria in 2017 no longer exists. It has been struck out. Ejiofor, in a live Facebook broadcast, also flailed the Department of State Services for not releasing his client 24 hours after the court order, describing their action as illegal. I just remember Asari Dokubo say he read law for 5 years. Imagine security services, no Igbo man among them, but we are one Nigeria. AGF will surely get Nigeria in a deep mess, as they did in extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. Majority of them are northern Muslims and they want people to believe in one Nigeria. And that's even, when I was even going through and I just read the names, I just say, and it's true. I think the only person that is not this is a Rabo. They just sit down and take choking. You see all of them? You see all of them? They will surely gather, but because their gathering is not of me, they will scatter, according to the God Almighty. God has disgraced evil government of Nigeria. Keep on looking for other issues to use to hold an innocent man. That is how God will keep letting the whole world know that all of you are illiterate fools, liars. Next exposure is for imposter president to be exposed for the world to see. Children of God must be set free. All this meeting for one man only. I am just even thinking aloud. If they fail to release him, let IPOB and lovers of freedom go after all APC members and deal with them. No campaign for APC in Biafra land. Let all the traitors in Igbo land prepare to get out before it is too late, because the king of Igbo land will come home very, 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 very soon. So guys, that's what we say, Amo.